one shot.
It's the excitement, the pace, the way that something can be so tenuous yet so positive, the movement, it's super athletic.
Fairly fit body, lots of endurance, but I think you need a really good mindset.
Every competition is different, every structure is different, every route is different.
It's really cool, like nothing you've done.
Vertical sprint.
70% of your mind, 30% of your power and speed, and
you use all parts of your body like hands and legs, and also like core strength is very important.
There's a big component to it also of being able to visualize ahead and pick the right holds to get on the ice and know what a good spot is to take. With the dual format, you're racing against your partners. There's some mind games that happen there.
You have to be able to climb a lot harder than the route is going to be.
Lots of decision making, it's more technical than just rock climbing. There's so many ways to use the tools.
The route is, for example, 25 holes, 25 problems, puzzle.
Every athlete has their own creative approach to solving the challenges set by the route setters.
sometimes I feel a bit scared, but I think I'm enjoying that kind of feeling.
It's an amazing community.
Everybody supports each other no matter if there's a language barrier. You still try to help each other as much as possible.
Ice climbing is a really interesting sport from a community perspective because it kind of transcends all boundaries. All different nations sat at the tables together, eating together, competing together. It's really a family as opposed to a circuit of competitors. I've never experienced a sport or a community quite like that I found in ice climbing. Very good morning from this rather rickety and extremely bouncy bridge over this frozen reservoir somewhere between Beijing and Hebei. My name's Liam Lonsdale, and this morning we are live for the men's and women's speed finals. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel the need for speed. Thankfully, we are off the rickety bridge now, and we are posted up on another wooden structure just behind the speed wall that you can see there. You are tuned in live to the speed finals of the 2019 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup here in Beijing. My name is Liam Lonsdale. It's my pleasure to be joining you as always, and I'm very excited for this morning's speed finals, especially considering that structure. More on that in a second. We would love, of course, to hear where you are tuned in from, who you are cheering for. You can get in touch with us multiple ways here at the UIAA. You can use the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing, and of course you can contact me directly using @Liam Lonsdale, and you can use both of those on all of the different social media platforms. Very, very chilly morning here in Beijing. We'll have start lists for you in just a few moments' time. Let's quickly talk about that structure. So what you can see there in the frame are the two timers right at the top and the banner down the middle. Athletes will run either side, or rather climb either side of that banner. They will get an attempt on the left and an attempt on the right. Very different to the ice that we saw in Korea last week. And yeah, very different to the ice that we'll see at other venues as well. There's Maria Tolopina in the foreground, and the background over her right shoulder is Katarina Feoktistova and Olga Kozak. Lots of smiles this morning, spirits are high. We have people tuned in from Arizona, USA. Good morning to George. Przemek's tuned in from Poland. Blake's tuned in from Chicago. We've got people tuned in from Kirov, Madison. All sorts of names and places. It's great to have everybody tuning in. Great to have you all on board. Let's see if I can get hold of that start list for you. So in the well, first off, we'll start with the semi-finals. So this is the finals competition, but we have 16 athletes to start. And in the ladies, which will be whittled down eventually to 8, you can see them on your screen there: Maria Tolokanina, Anastasia Shershenova, Olga Kozak, Ren Mingyui, Mira Alhonswo, Rui Liang, Elena Kochigorova, Natalia Savitskaya, Kendra Stritch, Katarina Feoktistova, Anna Udartseva, Ekaterina Kosheva, Paulina Abakarova, Annie Bertling, Sun Xiao Zhao, and Aryum Bayar Batpatar. Great to see so many nations in there. Let me count them quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nationalities, 8 nationalities in there. Really nice mix in that women's start list. And let's quickly take a look at the men's start list. We have Kim Min-chol of Korea, Li Jishen of China, Zhang Jingfeng of China, Ketlin Namdo of Mongolia, David Buffard of Canada, Anton Sukharev of Russia, Saikan Jagal Otkombayar of Mongolia, Ling Yao Shu of China, Anton Yemov of Russia, Dmitry Grabenikov of Russia, Nikolai Kuzovlev of Russia, Rad Mahetsi Mosen of Iran, Dorzun Jakor Otgonku of Mongolia, Vladislav Urlov of Russia, Lu Tongchun of China, and Vladimir Kartashev of Russia. Slightly narrower field there, but we do have Koreans, Chinese, Mongolians. So good to see so many nationalities in there, amongst the Russians. Of course, the Russians dominating this speed competition for many, many years now, but it's really starting to become a more open field. We're going to start with the ladies. And there is Maria Tolokanina, one of the fastest speed climbers around. And off she goes. Really nice technique. And the main difference between this structure and the other structures is that the ice is formed, quote unquote, naturally. Nice start there, 11.65 for Tolokanina. The ice is formed naturally, and what that means is that rather than being packed in and packed on like Kirov or Rabenstein, for example, the ice there forming kind of a flat surface. Here, it's much more three-dimensional and requires route finding from bottom to top. As per usual in a semi-final, the athletes will climb the left route and the right route. Their fastest combined time, or rather their combined time, will then be put into the rankings, and the fastest times will go through. It's the fastest 8 of the 16 that will go through to the finals, which will take place shortly. So here is Anastasia Shershanova. Marita Lukanina moving really well there, 11.9 consistent times for her. Shershanova struggling a little at the top. 18.08 her time there. Shershanova, a name that we haven't seen before. One of yet another strong team of Russians. Packed full of finals today, of course. We have the speed final this morning, and then this afternoon, 3 o'clock local time, we'll be live with the lead final. Stunning semi-final yesterday, full of surprises. Next athlete up there on the left-hand side in the turquoise hoodie is Olga Kozak of Poland. She made finals, her first finals, yesterday. She'll be competing later. Here she goes. And on that right side is Anastasia Shershanova of Russia. Kozak on the left. Kozak with 22.4, Shershanova with 20.34. It's hard to say, but I would imagine that Olga Kozak is keeping some energy in the tank, ready for her finals later, maybe even using the speed final as a bit of a warm-up. Ready for our next athletes now. And it is, of course, Ren Minghui of China on the left-hand side. Olga Kozak moves to the right. Great to see some Chinese athletes in this speed semi-final. Olga Kozak much better on that right-hand side. Just slips before the top. 19.73 is her time. Those two times will be added together now. Likely she'll go into third place as it stands. Ren Minghui with 22.67 on the clock. Next athlete on the left-hand side, Mira Alhonsro of Finland, another first-time finalist later today in the lead competition. Finnish team going from strength to strength, seemingly every competition. Here she goes. Great technique, really nice style, great route spotted, and you can see her head swinging left to right spotting that route as she goes. And this is going to be a good time for Mirabel Honswell, 16.35. Ren Minghui with 18.71. Finnish athlete will move right onto her second route, and the next climber will join us, which is another Chinese athlete, Liang Rui. Mira ready to go again. It seems so far that that right-hand side is the faster of the two sides. Here they go. Mira Honswell on the right-hand side. Yang Rui on the left. Mira finding good pace again. Good style. Strong fit. Oh, just stumbles at the finish there. 17.13. She was on for a good time then. Stumble at the top, Costa. 20.86 for Liang Rui. Mira Honswell's total time putting her into second place for now, 33.48. Next athlete on that left-hand side will be Elena Kochegarova. Russian climber put in a good performance yesterday in the lead competition. So here goes Elena Kochegarova. Liang Rui on that right-hand side will need to better that first time of 20.8. Kochegarova with 16.57 as her first time. Natalia Savitskaya now lines up for her first attempt. The face might look familiar, but the name might not sound it. Last year she was going by the name of Natalia Balyeva. She got married this summer. So Balyeva becomes Savitskaya. She's as fast as ever nonetheless. Really good speed on that left-hand side. Little stumble at the top, but 12.54 there. Tolokanina still way ahead with 11.65 as the fastest time of the round so far. .91 logged for Elena Kochegarova, which is a really fast time for her. Puts her into second place for now. 31.48 is her total time. Here's the USA's Kendra Stritch, gold medalist in Bozeman 2015. Lots of people tuned in to support Kendra. Fast start there for Savitskaya. Look at her go. Kendra Stritch left eating a dust at that moment. Jeepers. 10.78, fastest time in the round so far for Natalia Savitskaya. Kendra Stritch starting to find the pace a little higher up the route. 18.6 is her time. Wow. Savitskaya laying down the gauntlet for Tolokanina there. Jenna Clements in the chat saying Minnesota ice climbers are the coolest. I'm sure that's a subjective opinion, but Kendra will most likely agree with you. Next athlete joining us there on that left-hand side. Another fast climber, it's Katarina Feoktistova of Russia. Won plenty of medals in this speed competition, including golds. And there she goes. Stritch on the right, Feoktistova on the left. Really good pace from the Katarina Feoktistova, 12.3 seconds. Her time. Kendra Stritch again finding her pace higher up the route. Just not quite finding that pace early enough in the attempt by the looks of it for Kendra. If you are enjoying the broadcast, then be sure to like and share it. It's always good to get as many people tuned in as we can. Next climber on that left-hand side is Anna Udartseva. When Anna isn't training for ice climbing, she's an English teacher in Russia. Has proved very useful when interviewing some of the Russian team. Feoktistova on the right, very fast again. Oh heck, 10.41! Fastest time we've seen yet again. Udartseva with 17.2 on this clock. Brilliant work there for Katarina Feoktistova, who goes into first place. Total time of 22.71 seconds. Apologies if I'm sounding a little nasally today, guys. After yesterday's lead semi-final, I was struck with some sort of Beijing fever. Spent the last 24 hours, well, probably more like 16 hours, in bed. The QTV guys have got me strapped up with loads of heaters, and they're bringing me hot teas, looking after me, make sure that we can bring you a broadcast. Thanks for the folks that sent me the message on Instagram as well. Very kind of you. Your well wishes are appreciated. We'd love to hear from you here at the UIAA. You can use that hashtag UIAA ice climbing to get in touch with us. And of course you can contact me directly on at Liam Lonsdale. On that left hand side now, Ekaterina Kosheva of Russia. Very, very fast. 10.56. Not faster than Feoktistova, but one of the fastest times. Sub 11 seconds, looking like the standard for the top women at the moment. Anna Udartseva, 19.26 is her second time. It's going to put her in the middle of the field so far. Interesting, she took that extra hand movement, Kosheva, which probably lost a half a second. It was almost like she should have gone with her left hand to the pad, but perhaps that was her playing it safe. Didn't want to fall at the top there. Next athlete, Kazakhstan's Polina Abakirova. My mistake there. Last couple of years we've seen a strong Kazakh team come into each of the rounds, and again, just like the Finns, they're getting better and better with experience. Polina Abakarova on that left-hand side with pretty good pace, but Kosheva, oh my gosh! There you go, ladies and gentlemen, eat your words. Sub 10 seconds. Sub 11's not the standard, sub 10 is 9.78 for the pocket rocket. Katerina Kosheva, pint-sized, absolute monster. I think she's been drinking Russian rocket fuel for breakfast. No surprises, Katerina Kosheva goes straight into first place. Next athlete, Enni Bertling, second Finnish athlete. Another very strong athlete, made the elite finals, be competing later this afternoon. Right now her focus is on speed. Polina Abakarova on the right, 13.32, and she's happy with that time. Reed Wolf Vorvjinek has got in touch to say that he's ice climbed in the Adirondack Mountains in New York, but didn't know there was speed ice climbing. Well, here you go. This really is speed ice climbing, and it kind of makes makes normal ice climbing look rather slow, because these guys are actually climbing. This is what I was trying to say. You know, the normal speed climbing is on a type of ice that you would just never find outdoors, but this kind of cascade ice is exactly what you would climb when ice climbing outside. And so the speed that these guys are covering, you know, 25, let's say 20 meters, is quite incredible. Enni Bertling on that right hand side, Sun Zhao Zhao on the left hand side. Very close run. Sun Zhao Zhao goes first, Enni Bertling second. Of course, it doesn't matter who's ahead of the other. It's about combined time in this first 16. Final athlete now, bib number 65 from Mongolia, Aryumbayar Batbatar. Aryumbayar Batbatar on the left-hand side, Sun Zhao Zhao on the right-hand side. Oh, and just stumbles before the top there, 17.2 for Aryumbayar Batbatar. Not impossible for her to recover and get a decent time.
现在各位最后一位出场的选手，现在进行最后一把的攀爬，看一下他的攀爬能否将最终前8的成绩有所改写。Ready? 好的，已经开始了攀爬。
So Arium Bayard Batmatar climbs the final attempt on her own. The athletes had 2 attempts. There's a second go now on the first go on the second route. Another little stumble at the finish there, but 15.6 seconds is not too shabby. Don't think it's going to be enough to see her through into the top 8. Let's have a look at that top 8 once the score comes in. Just waiting for that to refresh. Okay, hey, it is, look at that! Okay, she's through. So, the top 8 as it stands, Mira Alhonswo of Finland, 33.48 total time. 7th place, Arium Bayard Batmatar of Mongolia, 32.8. Elena Kochegarova of Russia, 31.48. Paulina Abakirova of Kazakhstan, 31.28. Maria Tolkanina of Russia, 23.55. Natalia Savitskaya, 23.22. Ekaterina Feoktistova, 22.71. Look at that, first place. Russia's Ekaterina Kosheva, 20.34 seconds. 2 whole seconds between first and second. Whole second between second and third. Really quite incredible. And between first and 8th, which will be the duel that we see happen first, Mira Alhonswo versus Ekaterina Kosheva, there is a total difference of 13 seconds. So Mira Alhonswo really going to have to bring her A game in the speed duel. Take place shortly. We're going to go to the men's final 16 in just a few seconds. Just to recap the format, so we have 16 women, 16 men. The top 8 from each go through to what we call the finals. In the finals, we have a quarter-final, a semi-final, and a final. So we have the last 8. They duel 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. Top 4 from that go into what we call the semi-finals. And then the fastest 2 will duel, and the slowest 2 of the final 4 will duel. And that will give us 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. First athlete out in the men's competition. It is a Korean athlete. There he goes. Look at him flying up there on that right-hand side. Mixing up my left and right. Left-hand side. Kim Min Chol really strong there, 11.82 for his first time.
那我们也是非常期待看一下这一支男子的选手最快的成绩能够达到多少。刚刚我们看到女子选手最快的成绩是20秒多一点，也就是说2条线的平均是在11秒以内。刚刚完成了自己的第一把的攀爬的是韩国的选手平民秀 Korea。那么现在即将开始。
Next athlete is Chen Li-ji, Chinese athlete, been number 26. Kim Min Chol moves right.
中国的选手陈立基现在在 A 档，而第一位出场的金敏崇，韩国的选手现在在 B 档，选手加油 ，Come on！
Ready? Kim Min Chol moves to the right hand side. Some good leg protection there from Kim Min Chol. Chen Li-ji with good pace on the left hand side, 10.05 for the Chinese athlete.
通知，女子速度半决赛正式成绩已经公布。通知，女子速度半决赛正式成绩已经公布。
Interestingly, Chen Li-ji has the knee pads, which is often to protect the knees from banging on the ice. Kim Min Chol was wearing knee pads with thigh extenders on them, which is often to protect the thighs from the axes. See the upper part of his pads there. It's not uncommon to see some puncture wounds in the speed finals. Next athlete, another Chinese climber, it's Zhang Dingfeng. climbs on the left route, and Chen Li climbs on the right-hand route. Bit of a stumble for Chen Li, but he seems to be finding the pace higher up. 10.01 for him, 10.05 for Zhang Dingfeng.
Nice, 非常棒。所以呢，现在我们可以看到左边刚刚出场的中国队的选手张定峰，以及右手边第二把攀爬的陈丽金，两位的成绩都非常的不错。我们看到陈丽金目前的攀爬的成绩，两条线路啊都是在10秒左右。现在他的总成绩是20秒6。中国队的陈丽金。
First male Mongolian athlete joins us, it's Katlin Yamdo.
加油！
Number 35 is Zhang Dingfeng.
你看，看回来，蒙古利 A 道是蒙古的选手，看回来 ，B 道张定峰，中国队的选手，选手们加油！
Ready.
Mongolian athlete on that left-hand side, Katlin Yamdo moving really, really well, but stumble halfway up, sees Zhang Dingfeng. Sub 10 seconds, he's very happy with that, 9.75.
好的，让我们来欢迎接下来出场的选手。
Great work there from Zhang Dingfeng.
A 道加拿大的选手戴维。
Katlin Yamdo moves right. Canada's David Bouffard moves into the first route.
Ready.
So David Bouffard on the left-hand side, Katlin Yamdo with a big fall there, can't regain his pace by the looks of it. It's natural ice, really tricky to get going on again if you fall low. 11.35 for Yamdo, 12.33 for Bouffard. A shake of the head shows that he was hoping for more. More athletes coming through. As David Bouffard moves right, Anton Sukharev joins us on the left, the young Russian climber wearing bib number 34. People asking how the axes differ, and you can see Anton Sukharev's axes there. Very different to the normal ice climbing axes. We'll talk about those in a second. Sukharev on that left-hand side. Flying up there, look at that! Sub 8 seconds! 7.97 on the clock for the Russian. Absolutely flew up there. David Bouffard, 10.64. So yeah, you see those axes. They're made from one piece of metal. It's the first point to note. Much shorter than a standard ice axe. And then they have a very aggressive single spike that points downwards, like a hook than an axe. You'll be able to see it there on our next athlete. It's Mongolian athlete Saikan Jago Octgon Bayard. You can see, hopefully on his tool in a second, They actually come without any padding on the handles, and the athletes pad them as they see fit. You can see on that left hand there's a little bit of black tape just in the hands for the padding. That disc shape gives knuckle protection. It's purely designed to be fast and as efficient at pulling down as you can. Sukarev with another super fast time, 8.14. Really interesting technique. His hands turn slightly outwards. So rather than pulling down, his hands turn outwards, pulling inwards. Force of the hands more to drive. Yeah, look at that. His hands sideways, driving with the feet, balancing with the arms. Really interesting technique. Very, very fast. One to watch for the final 8, no doubt. Being asked if there's any maintenance done to the ice wall. I don't believe there was any quote-unquote maintenance in terms of ice being packed in. That's the nature of the wall here. The new athlete joins us. This time it's Ling Yao Zhu, China, on the left hand side. Saikan Jagal Otkombayar on the right.
Ready?
Otkombayar, big frame, struggling to quite get that momentum on the early start. And Yao Xu, good, 11.31, very tightly run that one. Great to see Mongolians cheering on the broadcast. Thanks for your comments. Where in Mongolia are you tuned in from? I'd love to find that out. There's been talk of a competition in Mongolia. One of the World Cup comets may be going to Mongolia in the next few years. Could be a very interesting competition. Anton Yemov joins us now on that left-hand side.
Ready?
Another one to watch, very fast Russian athlete. Right-hand side still Ling Yao Xu. Yemov with really good pace. 9.31 for him. Definitely expect to see these times getting faster and faster as we advance through the competition.
暂时排名是第6位，目前还有8位选手没有出场。来看一下现在出场的选手，016号 Dmitry， 俄罗斯的选手。
Yemov for his right. Grebennikov joins us on the left. Dmitry Grebennikov yesterday, one of many climbers to fall victim to that tricky route setting, fell very low in his lead semi-final. Looking to redeem himself here now. Grebennikov, one of the tallest and biggest athletes, 89 kilos.
Ready?
6'5". Strong finish for Yemov, 9.23. Grebennikov with 11.14, needs to pick up that pace to be in the top 8.
Endo, total tap, 18 seconds.
See waiting in the wings there behind Grebenikov, Nikolai Kozublev. Incredibly fast this season. Incredible shape, top form. Laser focus as he approaches that route.
欢迎接下来出场的选手010号尼克莱 Russia 0A 俄罗斯的尼克莱。
Grebenikov on the right, Kozublev on the left. Kozublev, really good speed in that lower part of the route, and he hits the top with 8. Oh, he stumbles! He was very close, but Grebenikov actually got ahead of him there. That just little slip before the top cost him almost a second. Really need a flawless performance to be sub 8. Certainly to be sub 9. Next athlete out on that left-hand side will be Radmosen, super fast Iranian. Kozublev on the right, Mosen on the left. This will be a fast one. Kozublev moving really well on the lower part of the route this time. Mosen just struggling with momentum. When he does find his footing, he powers through. 9.25 for Kozublev, 10.44 for Mosen.
Nikolai, total time, 18 seconds. 现在我们看到前3名的成绩分别是16秒、18秒、54和18秒。
Four athletes. Radmosen moves right.
3位选手都是来自俄罗斯。
Dorshurenkor Otgonku of Mongolia on the left.
欢迎接下来出场的选手，25号蒙古的选手，Otgonku。Ready? Ready? 好的，选手开始。
Here they go. Mosen on the right. Stumble on the left there for Otgonku. Mosen with 8.26, much better from him second time round. Current standard for the top 8 is sub 22 seconds.
9秒以内的成绩啊，孟森应该对自己很满意。好，是的，孟森目前的总成绩是总时间是18秒70。
Current standard for top 4, sub 19 seconds. Radmosen in there with 18.7 is his total time. Bib number 17 is Vladislav Urlov, babyface Russian. Very, very quick, this guy, very quick indeed.
回到俄罗斯的选手布拉迪斯拉夫倒数第3位出场的选手，目前已经是1位布拉迪斯拉夫 representing Russia。Ready？ 好的，选手开始了跑法。
On the left, Gonku on the right. Urlov with really good speed, really good pace, all the way up from bottom to top, and it's a sub 8 second. Fastest time of the round so far, 07.94 for Vladislav Urlov. 8.92 that time for Mongolia's Dorzhunshenkor Otgonku. Amazing finish for him that time round. Puts him into the top 8. Middle off moves right. Lu Tongchun of China joins us on the left. There he is.
现在 A 道出场，也是中国队男子选手进入到12强最后一位出场的选手卢统春，加油
Prepares himself and gets ready to go on the left. Tension on Yelov on the right. Fastest time of the round so far in his first run. We're seeing faster times on that right hand side. And he's moving really well again. Oh wow, 7.47. Just gets faster and faster. Less than 7.5 seconds. Puts him straight into first place with a total time of 15.41.
15.41.
Really amazing technique there. Great pace. This style obviously suiting Vladislav Yurlov. 24-year-old Russian. Lu Tongchun moves right, and our final climber is Russian's Vladimir Kartashev. Russian athlete is very, very fast. We saw him in speed, lead semi-finals yesterday. Definitely more favoured in the speed comps. There they go. Kartashev on the left. Bit of a stumble midway. 8.98 for him. Needs to be faster than 11.56 to qualify.
我们看到男子的选手竞争非常的激烈。目前的暂时的前8名排名分别是15秒、16秒、18秒54、18秒70、18秒76、19秒80、20秒06和20秒48。
So he'll do the last run on his own. Vladimir Kartashev, as I said, he needs to be faster than 11.56 to be into the last 8. Here he goes. Bit of a stumble there. Just losing that left hand as he tries to recover. But 9.29 will be enough to see him in. Somewhere in the middle of the table, which is arguably a favourable position in the speed duel.
18 seconds, 0.27.
Kartashev actually goes into third, so he'll be racing Nikolai Kuzovlev. That will be a duel. Let's talk about those results in the men's. 16th place, Kim Min-chul of Korea. 15th place, David Buffard of Canada. 14th place, Yao Shu Ling of China. 13th place, Saikhan Jagal Otkombayar of Mongolia. 12th place, Kashilen Nyamdo of Mongolia. 11th place, Lu Tongchun of China. 10th place, Dmitry Grebennikov of Russia. 9th place, Dorjun Shenkor Otgongku of Mongolia. Let's talk about that top 8. Chen Liji of China, Zhang Dingfeng of China, Nikolai Kuzovlev of Russia, Murad Mozey of Iran, Anton Yemov of Russia, Vladimir Kartashev of Russia, Anton Zugarev of Russia, and Vladislav Yurlov of Russia. 3 nations through to the last 8 men's. First we'll have the ladies competition.
For result service in 3 minutes, we will start.
Have a break of about 3 minutes now. Maybe we can have some replays. So that was bib number 34's run. Of course, Anton Sukarev showed us how it was done. Really picked up the pace for the rest of the athletes. 7.97, his fastest time. There it was. Really interesting outward hands technique. You see it there, very exaggerated. Hands almost pointing fully horizontal. 8.14 was his second run. He's the second place qualifier and he will duel with Zhang Dingfeng. Bib number 13 was Anton Yemmarf, another fast climber. Didn't quite get the pace that we would have expected from him in this final 16, but don't let that fool you. He'll be keeping something up his sleeve ready for the final 8. Kuzovlev and Grebenikov. Grebenikov just missing out on qualifiers, but Kuzovlev going through in 6th place. That stumble below the top there, costing him, I think, in the region of a second. And the man of the moment was definitely this guy. Bib number 17, Vladislav Urlov. Flawless route reading, brilliant leg power, strong finishing in the first route, 7.94. And then look at this second route. Absolutely stormed this one. 7.47 seconds. So if you are just joining us, a very, very warm welcome to Beijing, Fangshan district. We are live from a frozen lake reservoir, body of water. We are on top of it. The athletes are stood on it right now. It's the lead. No, it's not. It's the speed. I'm not feeling very well. It's the speed finals. The last 8 women and the last 8 men will be competing just shortly for the second gold medal of the season. Yesterday was the lead and speed qualifiers. Today is the speed last 16, and now we're going into the speed last 8. And then later this afternoon, I'm going to have a nap between now and then and hopefully come back with all my words. We'll have the lead finals. You'll be able to tune in at 3 p.m. local time. We'd love to hear from you here. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Let us know who you are cheering for. You can get in touch with us using the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing, and you can get in touch with me directly using the tag at Liam Lonsdale. We'll be back in just a few moments' time with the women's last 8.
Ready? Players ready? Climbers, we start quarterfinal winning speed competitions World Cup UIAA. The first climber, Kasheva Katerina, left route. Second climber, Alonso Mira, Finland, right route. Ekaterina from Russia.
So the athletes line up. On that left-hand side is Ekaterina Kosheva of Russia, the reigning world champion, multiple gold medalist, multiple podium placer. Against Miral Honso of Finland. Kosheva a whole body length ahead of Miral Honso at this point, and getting an ever-increasing lead, 2 body lengths, 10.55 is her time. Miral Honso clawing up to finish at 15.01. Unless something happens in this second round, it's pretty much a done deal there, I'd say. Of course, the athletes switch sides now. What happens now is their times are combined, and then the fastest time of the two goes through, the other is knocked out. Kosheva on the right hand side, Miral Honso of Finland on the left.
Ready? 好了，第2排的攀爬，我们看到刚刚
Mira Alonso on the left, Katerina Kosheva on the right, and Katerina Kosheva again getting off to a really good start, but a stumble in the middle means that Alonso is catching her up. 10.82 is Kosheva, 12.71 for Alonso, and she's pleased with that. She won't go through, but she is indeed very happy with that result. When you're racing the existing world champion, one of the fastest women around, then you can only hope to get a personal best. Inika Raybergen asks, what's the temperature there right now? Somewhere in the region of about -5, I've been told, Inika. I haven't checked on the forecast, but one of our local guys has said it's about -5. Not super cold, but it does feel kind of cold humid. If you remember, Inika, of course, was at the World Cups in the last couple of years. She'll remember how it felt in Korea last year. It was absolutely grim. It feels a little bit like that. Next duel is Maria Tolokanina on the left and Polina Abakarova on the right. Russia versus Kazakhstan, and it's Tolokanina with the fastest time, 10.55. 10.55 timed with Katerina Kosheva. I have a feeling that these two athletes are leaving a little bit in the bag, knowing that they can quite easily beat their dual competitors, just trying to save their ultimate speed for when they compete against most likely their teammates later on. Tolokanina and Kosheva, joint world champions right now.
Ready?
Next duel. Katerina Feoktistova. No, it's not. Same duel. Polina Abakarova and Maria Tolokanina. Tolokanina on that right-hand side. A big stumble there. Really having to regain a composure. 12.23. Slow for Tolokanina. 14.86. Polina Abakarova. It's Tolokanina that goes through. First two athletes through, both Russian. Katerina Kosheva of Russia, Maria Tolokanina of Russia. Next duel, Katerina Feoktistova and Aryun Bayar Batpatar. Batpatar on the left in front of you there in the pink sleeves. Feoktistova there in the white, blue, purple and red sleeves. Very fancy top, that.
Ready?
Batpatar, faster of the two so far, but Feoktistova finds some pace halfway up the route and recovers strong. 11.03 after being behind for a few seconds. 11.46 there for Batpatar, who was ahead.
好的，那我们看到第3组的选手啊，那么第一场攀爬已经完成，同样是2条线路都要进行攀爬。林碧，看到一辆Russia，林磊。那么我们看到现在蒙古队的选手吴东亮，巴塔。哇，两位的成绩非常的接近，11秒03，11秒46。
Athletes switch sides now.
Ready?
And here we go, Batpatar versus Feoktistova. Feoktistova getting off to a much better start this time. A little bit of a stumble midway, but recovers. Finishes much faster as we'd expect, 9.67 better that time.
卡特琳娜的成绩非常的好啊，9秒67。另一边，蒙古的选手巴塔。好的，Congratulations to Ekaterina Kosheva. 起俄罗斯的选手艾卡特琳娜成为了4强第3个名额的拥有者。接下来我们是最后一组 ，This is the last group for women's speed quarterfinals。来看一下女子速度的比赛中，最后一组林美。
Kucherganova on the right-hand side, Natalia Savitskaya on the left-hand side.
Ready?
Savitskaya, the faster of the two. Kucherganova, the taller of the two. Slow and steady, seems to be ahead. Savitskaya looking to recover. It is Savitskaya that takes it, 12.93.
But now I don't know where. It's some climbing trail and the gloves.
好的，那我们的选手左右交换之后，女子的速度的决赛4分钟的比赛即将完成。
They switch sides now. Savitskaya goes to the right, the faster of the two routes. Kucherganova goes to the left. Let's see what happens. With a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be Savitskaya that goes through.
Ready? Ready?
Here they go. Savitskaya getting up to the fastest start of the two. Way ahead of Kucherganova. Big finish, 11.29. Again, not the fastest time that we've seen, but more than enough to take the win ahead of Elena Kucherganova of Russia. So we have our final four confirmed: Savitskaya, Feoktistova, Tolokonina and Kusheva. Absolutely no surprises there. The 4 fastest women in Russia. There's a couple of other names that have been in there over the years.
So we finished.
It's no surprises when those 4 are competing against those 4 through to the last round.
Immediately we start the men's quarterfinal. The first pair, Yurla Vladislav, Russia, Li Jichen, China.
We go straight into the men's final 8 now.
Nevov Anton, Russia.
First duel will be between Vladislav Yurlov and Li Jichen. Russia versus China.
The last pair, Karkashov Vladimir, Russia, Kuzovlev Nikolai, Russia. The first climbers, which I announced, start on the left route. Please be ready. The first pair, you are welcome to the start position. All right, 这是大家了解到的样，这2位的选手已经进入到了最终的8强的比拼，他们分别在第1组和第3组出场对阵。那么我们看到了，在我们的攀冰的现在开始我们的比赛呢将会是2两 PK 进行，选手们同样是 A 道 B 道攀爬完之后交换进行攀爬，2道的总时间加起来比自己的对手快，才能进入到4强，竞争非常的激烈。那我们来看一下。 同时呢，为大家来非常骄傲的宣布一下，那么我们年轻的中国的攀冰的运动，在这一次的2018到2019国际登联的攀冰世界杯取得了历史性的好成绩，有2位选手进入到了决赛的争夺。那么不管他们最后走到多远我们现在看到的是我们中国攀冰运动的历史创造的一个非常骄傲、非常自豪。现场的各位，和我们一起来见证历史的诞生。是的，各位，2018到2019国际登联攀冰世界杯中国。 北京站即将开始，男子速度的比拼，男子速度8进4的比赛即将开始。陈立基，人家叫你名字。 Okay, first two climbers invited to the start position. 是的，请第一组选手就位，分别是预赛排名第1对阵预赛排名第8。随着我们可以看到，预赛排名第8中国队的选手陈立新，现在呢在比道出战，他要对战的是最强大的对手之一，目前成绩排名第1位与在半决赛排名第1的选手。 选手们加油！林磊、格拉迪斯拉、Russia、林碧、陈立基、开朗。
So here we go with our first pairing in the final 8. Vladislav Yulov of Russia versus Li Ji Chen. Yulov, a medalist last weekend in Cheongsong.
Ready?
There we go, Yulov, fastest in the qualifiers, and you can see why. Really good pace, so strong. Big stumble there, which cost him a good second, 8.62. No worries, he's way ahead there of his dual buddy Li Ji Chen. Looks like Li Ji Chen actually missed the buzzer there on the top, which will mean that he won't do his second run if that was the case. Yulov with that exceptional form. Just here that we saw the big stumble. Still managed to get to the top in less than 9 seconds.
Don't cry. Li Ji Chen out.
Li Ji Chen is out. Didn't tag the top. So Yulov just needs to top the route. He'll use this, no doubt, as a strong practice run. Ready for the semi-final. Last 4. Get his line dialed in, and 7.69 is his time.
完成了自己的攀爬。男子8进式第1组的比拼已经结束，男子8进式第2组的比拼，分别是来自俄罗斯以及伊朗的选手。林磊 Angel Russia 林碧 Boxen Iran.
Next pairing, Russia's Anton Yemov versus Iran's Rad Mosen. Both very fast athletes. As we talked about last week in Cheongsong, Rad Mosen, easily one of the fastest around, but just seems to stumble in the big moments of pressure and is yet to really, what's the word, do himself justice, I guess. Yemov for the big stumble gives Mosen a time to get through, 9.35 and 8.86. Half a second between them. The question is, with Mosen on the right and Yemov on the left, has Mosen done enough with that half a second to keep Yemov out? We know that right-hand route runs a little faster. You can see Mosen knows that he's set himself a task here. Needs to win this one. Yemov can capitalise on that 0.5 second deficit and maybe make that up on this second route. Let's wait and see. No guarantees here. Mosen on the left, Yemov on the right. Mosen could really do with a win here. Yemov off to the stronger of the 2 starts. Mosen stumbles at the left, and no, Yemov stumbles on the right. big finish. Oh no, Mosen, heartbreaker. As I've said before, when it matters the most, Mosen just doesn't seem to be able to follow through, and he puts his head down. Knees out. Big stumble. Costs Mosen. It was very, very close. Yimov will advance. It's all over for Brad Mosen of Iran.
Congratulations to Endo。来，接下来 A 大俄罗斯的选手安东 Endo Russia， B 大中国队的选手张定峰，加油！
It was neck and neck all the way, both athletes with big stumbles, just really slowing their times down. Look at that, that big fall, 2 falls. Yeah, really not what you want to see in the final 8. Anton Sugarev and Zhang Dingfeng. Uh-oh. False start for Anton Sugarev. Needs to be very careful. They do get one chance. He'll be more cautious second time round.
Ready?
Yeah, much more cautious start this time from Anton Sugarev. Still leads ahead of Zhang Dingfeng. Big finish, 7.96. Zhang Dingfeng with a sub-10 second time. Good work from him. Chinese athlete with a sub-10 on the clock, but Sugarev 2 seconds faster. And of course, as that right hand runs faster, Dingfeng's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and beat Sugarev. It's an unassailable lead, I would say. Final pairing now. Bib 34. Of course, it's not the final pairing, it's Anton Sugarev. Still against Zhang Dingfeng. Sugarev again, nice and fast, 8.5. That's him definitely through. Bib 34. Zhang Dingfeng slower second time round.
Congratulations to Endo.
All 3 of the athletes advancing so far. Russians, Virlov, Nyamov, Sugarev. And with the final pairing being between 2 Russians, Kartashev and Kuzovlev, it's going to be an all-Russian final 4.
Vladimir, Russia. Nikolai, Russia. A 大俄罗斯的选手弗拉迪米尔 ，B 大俄罗斯的选手尼克莱。
It's Nikolai Kuzovlev.
Ready?
Kartashev taking 2 bronze medals last season. Kuzovlev with 1 gold medal in the speed. Kartashev ever so slightly in the lead, and look at that, very close, but it was Kuzovlev that pipped him to the post, 7.96 to 8.14. Question is, can Kartashev make up that deficit on the second route, or will Kuzovlev hold on to his lead?
Ready?
Off they go. Kozlovlev on the left does get ahead in the start, but Kartashev seems to be picking it up. Who's going to take it? Kartashev goes first, and a big fall from Kozlovlev slows him down. Kartashev knocks out Nikolai Kozlovlev. Great work there from Vladimir Kartashev. Total time 16.27.
是的，恭喜俄罗斯的选手弗拉基米尔成为4强最后一名当的入球，赶快就来先进弗拉基米尔。
So we now go to the women's final four.
Now we start women's semi-final ice climbing speed competitions UIAA China World Cup. The first pair,
First pair is, of course, Katerina Feoktistova and Natalia Savitskaya. Being asked how did he make this route, or is it just a fantastic setup? This route is technically it's manufactured. Water is pumped over the edge of the cliff as winter sets in to create this ice fall, but it's not manufactured in the sense of the likes of Kirov or Sasfei or Ravenstein, where ice is packed onto a structure, or like Korea, where ice is built in blocks. So the ice is naturally natural or naturally unnatural. Not sure which way around makes sense, but the ice is not manicured in any way. Savitskaya on the right, Feoktistova on the left. Stumble at the start for Savitskaya is going to cost her, and in the middle, but Feoktistova gets her axe stuck. Savitskaya takes the win. Need to wait and see now whether or not Feoktistova will be able to make up that lead.
是的，现在我们看到 Natalia 现在到了 A 道0位，那么艾卡特琳娜呢，现在转换到了 B 道0位。
She was so far ahead, Feoktistova, but got the axe stuck, and Savitskaya was able to beat her to the top. It's not uncommon to see athletes climbing just with one axe at the end there. She'll be thinking about that one if she doesn't get through. Kartashev famously climbed half of the route in Korea a couple of years ago with only one axe. Katerina Feoktistova and Natalia Savitskaya for their place in the final. Final two. Feoktistova gets off to the stronger of the two starts on that right-hand side, and Savitskaya with a lot of work to do if she wants to catch her. Feoktistova just needs to keep the momentum going. 9.68. Savitskaya way behind her, 12.01, but is it enough? It's going to be very, very close. I think Feoktistova's done enough. She has. Feoktistova goes through. Smile on her face. Second duel for a place in the final two. Fastest two women, Kosheva and Tolokanina. Qualified first and second place, only one of them will advance to duel with Katerina Feoktistova in the final.
The winner of the previous pair, Feoktistova Ekaterina. Ready?
Kosheva on the left, Tolokanina on the right. Both off to a very solid start. Similar sized athletes, pretty much neck and neck. Kosheva inching ahead of her there. Tolokanina picking up pace at the top, and it's Kosheva that gets there first. Very close, 0.2 of a second faster. Getting closer and things. Kosheva will need a flawless performance on the second route. Tolokanina needs to pull it out the bag if she wants to beat Katja Kosheva. See what happens. Tolokanina in black, Kosheva in red. Tolokanina on the left, Kosheva on the right. Fast with the two routes so far today, they seem to be the right hand side.
Ready?
And here they go. Tolokanina gets off to the stronger of the two starts. Kosheva looking to pick up that pace, and it's a big stumble which is slowing her down. Can Tolokanina keep that momentum all the way through? She's a big fall from Tolokanina, and Kosheva takes it! Nightmare for Maria Tolokanina. She leans back in her harness and knows how close she was to making that final two. Savitskaya and Tolokanina will battle for the bronze medal. It'll be Feoktistova and Kosheva that duel for gold.
艾卡德琳娜进入到了冠军的争夺，而玛利亚进入到了第3名的争夺。
We go straight to the men's speed duel for the final four now. Vladislav Irlov will duel with Anton Nemov. Vladimir Kartashev will duel with Anton Sukarev.
Now we start semi-final round. Ice climbing speed competitions, China World Cup. First pair, Yurlov Vladislav, Russia left route. Nemov Anton, Russia right route. Second pair, Kartashev Vladimir, Russia left route. Sukarev Anton, Russia right route. Please, you are welcome to the start. Climbers, you are welcome to the start. 好的，现在我们看到已经进入到男子4强的争夺，同样世界第1位进入到冠军的争夺，而另一位进入到第3名的争夺。现在开始发场 ，A 到波兰第3组比到安东。
Kartashev will, Yudlov will climb on the left route, Nemov on the right. Doesn't look like it on your screens, but the sun has started shining here. It's gradually creeping its way around into the valley. We're surrounded on both sides by cliffs, which is meaning we're not getting any sunlight. We don't get it for another hour or so. They will get here eventually, and it's Irlov on the left-hand side that has the pace to start, but Nemov starts to pick up. Irlov catches him again, 7.8. Amazing finish from Irlov. Where's that pace come from? He just seems to fly out of nowhere. But the other athletes stumble and struggle to find the momentum again. Yurlov just goes 0 to 60 so fast. Look at this stall and then boom! So fast. Vladislav Yurlov from Russia almost a whole second, even with stumbles, ahead of Anton Nemov. And if he can keep that pace on the second route, he's definitely going through. I'd say he's in a pretty strong position for a gold medal here today. He's looked the most consistent of all the athletes. So, final four, first duel, Vladislav Yurlov and Anton Nemov. Nemov on the left, Yurlov on the right. Yurlov won the first round, 7.8 seconds, Nemov with 8.66. See what happens now. Oh my gosh, Yurlov accelerates away at lightning pace, 6.82 seconds. Sub 7 on the clock, unbelievably fast. You're not going to see much faster than that, folks. Unbelievable speed there from Vladislav Yurlov of Russia. Look at him go right from the start. He found that pace through the legs, through the arms. Really good momentum, driving force. Incredible. Total time of 14.62 seconds. He's definitely through. Next pairing, final pairing in the final four. going for their place in the finals against Vladislav Yurlov. Anton Sukharev on your screen there, and Vladimir Kartashev. Kartashev on the left, Sukharev on the right, and Sukharev with those very exaggerated outward tools is way ahead, 7.21, whole second ahead of Kartashev there. Sukharev taller and faster there than Kartashev. See what happens. Sukharev with a big lead there of a whole second, although we've seen a big stumble. Can easily add a second or two onto your time. Has Kartashev got what it takes to make up that whole second? If he wins, he needs to win by over a second to go through. Bib 34 on the left. Kartashev on the right, bib number 11, and here they go. Kartashev with a really good start there, and Sukharev got his axe stuck, and he's way more than a second ahead. Look at that, Sukharev going with one axe all the way. 13.77 seconds with one axe. How's that for a time? Maybe we can catch that in the replay. It will be Kartashev that goes through. But what a flipping amazing effort from Sukharev. Left the axe behind and just launched himself up there with one hand. Look at that. Broken wing, no problem for Anton Sukharev. Stunning work. He gets a high five if nothing else. Of course, the athletes that didn't win that duel go through to the bronze medal duel. So Kuzovlev, excuse me, not Kuzovlev. It'll be Nemov and Sukharev that go through to the bronze medal duel. And there it was, that moment that Sukharev lost his tool and just decided, I'm going it alone. I'm going one-handed. Just get a time in, you never know. Amazing effort. Even with one axe, he was way faster than some of the other guys in the final 16. Unbelievable. So now we go to the women's competition. Final two. And the first duel we'll see is the women's third place duel. Maria Tolkanina and Natalia Savitskaya.
You fight for the first place. For the gold medal, Krakista Ekaterina left root, Kasheva Ekaterina right root. All the climbers from Russia.
Tolkanina, amazing pedigree. More gold medals than anyone else in the speed competitions. Savitskaya has a couple of golds to her name. She took gold in China last year, in Cheongsong the year before. Tolkanina on the left, Savitskaya on the right. Very much neck and neck, and the two stumbled at the same time pretty much, and it's Savitskaya that just misses the top! Tolkanina takes the win, and it's all over for Savitskaya.
如果说冰港脱手啊，分两种情况。如果冰港脱手，但是冰港呢是卡在冰缝里面。
Now there's 6 seconds between those two times. You have to be very optimistic. If you were Savitskaya right now to think that you're going to beat Tolkanina with a 6-second deficit. And stranger things have happened. Eyes down, focused. So this guy is clicked in. The athletes climb in on a static rope, belayed by two guys. One guy on the device, another guy pulling the rope through. Looks like they're calling Savitskaya off. They must have determined that she didn't finish the route. Tolokanina guaranteed bronze medal here. Just needs to finish. It's a nice time, 10.6 seconds. Bronze medal for Maria Tolokanina of Russia.
Congratulations to Maria.
Okay, folks, the business end of this final duel. It's Katerina Feoktistova and Katerina Kosheva. On your screen there, Feoktistova. In all red there, you can see her. It's Kosheva. Should be on the right-hand route. Tolokanina and Kosheva often training together. Tolokanina will be cheering on for Katya Kosheva now. Feoktistova, the taller of the two athletes. And here they go. Kosheva on the right hand side, a little bit stronger in the start. Feoktistova a little slower in another fall. Leaving herself a lot of work to do. 9.35 for Katerina Kosheva, 12 seconds for Feoktistova. That's a big lead for Kosheva, but not impossible to beat. Kosheva makes no mistakes, then it'll be gold medal for her. Feoktistova needs a little bit of luck, a solid performance. Katerina Feoktistova, this time on the right hand side, Kosheva on the left. Kosheva taking the win on the first run, and look at that, she's accelerating away already on that left hand side, but Feoktistova's picking up the pace. Kosheva around that middle zone, not stumbling, and although Feoktistova takes the win there, that 2-second advantage that Kosheva won on that first run will see her with the gold medal, Feoktistova with the silver, Tolokanina with the bronze.
The winner, Kosheva Ekaterina. The winner of this pair, Kosheva Ekaterina. Now we start.
Smile on the face of Kosheva there. She knows that she's walked away with the gold.
China World Cup. The first pair, the climbers will fight for the third place. Sugarev Anton left route, Nemov Anton right route. Second pair.
2 golds in a row.
The climbers who will fight for the first place, Yurla Borislav left route, Kartashov Vladimir right route.
No. A gold and a silver for Kosheva. She took silver last weekend in Cheongsong. 2 medals in a row. Tolokanina taking gold last weekend in Cheongsong. Gold and a silver will put her into first place in the overall rankings. And now we go to the men's speed duel. Final four in the men's now.
Ready?
Here they go. On that right-hand side is Vladis Vladyerlov, and on the left-hand side is Anton Sukarev. Look at that, very close indeed. You'll have to excuse me, of course. It was Anton Yemov on the right-hand side as we race for the bronze medal position. Illness is getting the better of the guys. Making all the excuses this morning. That's a very, very tight result there in that final run. They've got another duel now. Whoever wins this one, I have a feeling that they'll do it faster than with 1/10 of a second. And so whoever wins this one will be walking away with a bronze medal. Sukarev on the right-hand side, Anton Yemov on the left-hand side.
来一个下午的3点15分男子、女子难度的决赛，在面对大家岩壁的最右边人工岩壁进行。下午3点15分男子、女子难度的决赛，在面对大家岩壁的最右边人工岩壁举行。
With 0.1 of a second to make up if he wants to take that bronze medal.
Ready? Ready?
False start there for Anton Yemov.
好的，那么我们看到80之后呢，出现这样的问题呢，就算是抢跑了。再来 ，Ready?
This time we'll get it right. Another false start for Yemov. He'll go out by default. So Sukarev takes the bronze medal. Not quite in the way that he'd have been hoping for, but that is the rules. 2 false starts for Anton Yemov. Looks like there might be some confusion. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Pavel Shavelin, president of the jury of the judges, steps in. Quite sure what's happening at the moment. False start stands. But they will be allowed to run again by the looks of things. No? Just Sukarev.
Ready?
Anton Yemov out of the competition. Sukarev just needs to finish this one to walk away with the bronze medal.
好的，那么我们看到呢，安总的对手因为是2次抢跑
He does so in great style. 8.03 Anton Sukarev's time.
直接成为了我们本次比赛的第3名。
Third place and bronze medal for the Russian. Now we have our final 2 men. The duel for silver and gold.
In the ice climbing China World
Vladislav
Cup.
Yudlov and Vladimir Kartashev.
Meanwhile, the climbers who will fight for the first place: Yura Vladislav, left route; Kartashev Vladimir, right route. Both climbers from Russia. 好的，我们看到2位选手呢都是俄罗斯的选手。A 道是弗拉迪斯拉夫 ，B 道是弗拉迪米尔林比。
So there is Vladislav Yurlov.
是的，各位，那么现在是冠军的争夺，两位选手都是来自俄罗斯的
Kartashev，
看一下将会创造怎样的成绩。
Kartashev on the right, Yurlov on the left. Yurlov has been the fastest here all weekend. And the stumble there, the first one we've really seen from him. Kartashev takes it. Wasn't expecting to see that. One of Yurlov's slowest times so far. Kartashev with the win. Now, this really is the moment that it counts. Vladislav Yurlov has a 0.2 second deficit to make up. Kartashev just needs to hold off Yurlov to the top.
So who's the winner of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup? China Beijing.
Kartashev took 2 bronze medals last year. Overall champion in 2017, took a gold medal in Saspei and multiple silver medals. Yurlov with his bronze medal last weekend, his first ever medal. Looking dominant here today. Let's see. Will experience stand in the way of Yurlov's first gold medal, and will Kartashev take it? Let's see. Kartashev on the left, Yurlov on the right, and Yurlov gets up to the stronger of the 2 starts. He's been blisteringly fast all weekend, and it looks like he's going to keep going. It's not a sub-6, but it's fast enough. 7.76 seconds, almost a whole second ahead of Vladimir Kartashev. And it is indeed Vladislav Yurlov's first ever gold medal, ahead of Vladimir Kartashev, who takes silver here in China. Just to recap those results, 4th place goes to Anton Yamov of Russia. 3rd place in bronze medal to Russia's Anton Sukharev. 2nd place in silver medal to Vladimir Kartashev. 1st place in gold medal on that right-hand side on the replay right now, Russia's Vladislav Yurlov. Big smiles on his face, and it's well deserved for the 24-year-old Russian. And that concludes our speed finals. 2nd speed finals of the season. Hugs from teammate Fayok Tistova. Another exciting final. Speaking of exciting finals, later today we've got another one for you, 3 PM local time. You'll be able to tune into the lead finals. It's going to be good, I promise you that. If you can, do tune in. 3 PM local time, I'll be here, they'll be here, hopefully you'll be here.
好，这个不要说啊，我们的比赛是不要说，稍微等一下，因为现在在看视频。好，现场的各位为大家预告一下，下午的比赛3点。
So that's that. Don't forget, you can still get in touch with us. Use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. Tag them on UIAA Mountains and tag me on @Liam Lonsdale. We love to hear from you. We can't wait for the lead finals later on. Until then, have a great few hours. Good afternoon.
Lead final. 好了，同时也请各位注意，隔离区关闭的时间2点半钟。隔离区关闭。